I am Jaime Barceló, Chair of the Board of Directors at FirstLight Federal Credit Union, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the 66th annual meeting of the FirstLight Federal Credit Union. While COVID-19 has prevented us from an in-person meeting once again this year, we'd like to take a few minutes for our executive team to give you a personal welcome with a short video. We hope you enjoy.
Looking back at the year 2020, together we overcame obstacles that we never thought we would face.
Together, we adapted and became stronger than ever before.
Together, we embarked on an unforeseen journey, and today we are better for it.
The path we chose was one of unity, one of strength, and one of response.
And now, together, we can look forward to a brighter future.
A future of limitless possibilities in which we continue to serve you, our members, and our communities with new technologies and the highest quality of service possible. With FirstLight, better is a brighter future. Welcome.
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 Welcome to our FirstLight Federal Credit Union 66th Annual Members Meeting.
Once again, bienvenidos as we look forward to a brighter future. During the meeting, we will reference the annual report, which contains the meeting minutes from last year, financial reports, the report of the Supervisory Committee, along with the chairman and the president's message. The report can be found on the credit union's website, or click the link within the chat for your reference. Before we call the meeting to order, our virtual meeting hostess, Paulette Murguia, will provide some instructions on the motions for the minutes and the reports.
Thank you. If you're not familiar with Zoom, please note that there is a raise hand feature that we will be utilizing for motions. There will be an opportunity for you to motion by raising your hand and to vote on those motions, aye or nay, on the pop-up during the different parts of the meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Murguia. I will now ask Carl Murphy, our president and CEO, to give the invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me. Lord, we meet today to conduct a matter of business. Help us to always represent members of our credit union fairly and to make decisions that promote the common good. We recognize our responsibility in the past and in the future, and the needs of our members and the needs of the community as well. On our efforts here today, may we act wisely and well. We ask for your protection of all our members, the servicemen and women deployed throughout the world, and all those who continue to be impacted by the COVID virus. Amen. Now I ask that you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. I hereby call to order the 66th annual meeting of the FirstLight Federal Credit Union. The chair appoints Ms. Pat Aguilera to act as recording secretary for this meeting. Once again, I am Jaime Barceló, chair of the board of directors. My fellow board members are Mr. Carlos Guzman, vice chair, Ms. Sylvia Duarte, treasurer, Mr. Gilbert Tijerina, secretary, Mr. Miguel Chang Guajardo, Mr. Bill Lewis, and Mr. Jaime Medina. Federal regulations require that we have a supervisory committee. Our supervisory committee provides oversight of the audit functions of the credit union. They are Mr. Joshua Orozco, Chair, Mr. Michael McQueen, Mr. Gilbert Andujo, and Mr. Rafael Adame. Finally, our board advisory member is Ruben Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to thank the Board of Directors and Supervisory Committee members for their volunteer efforts with the credit union. We appreciate all that they do. I'd now like to introduce you to the executive management team of the FirstLight Federal Credit Union. First is Margie Salazar, our Chief Financial Officer. Judy Dejado, our Chief Lending Officer. Aaron Beldner, our Chief Information Officer, and Jim Huff, our Chief Retail Officer.
On behalf of our treasurer, Ms. Sylvia Duarte, I will ascertain that a quorum is present. Fellow members, there are 44 members present. According to Article 4, Section 5 of the FirstLight Federal Credit Union bylaws, a quorum is present. As noted earlier, the annual report contains the minutes of our last annual meeting, which was held on May 14, 2020. Ms. Paulette Murguia will provide instructions on how to make a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Barceló. Utilizing the raise hand feature at the bottom of your Zoom window, we will accept motions from the first two individuals to respond. You will then see a pop-up on your screen for everyone to vote to accept the minutes. You will have 30 seconds to respond.
I will now entertain a motion that the minutes of the May 14, 2020 annual member meeting be accepted as written.
A motion has been made by Philip Ling and seconded by Diane Grant.
All in favor, enter aye, or those opposed, enter nay.
You will have 30 seconds to vote. Voting has ended.
The motion is passed. The minutes are accepted as presented. 2020 was a challenging but successful year, and we are all proud of the work our CEO and staff have done to help our members and our community while balancing the financial well-being of the credit union. Now I'll turn the meeting over to our president, Mr. Carl Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Barceló. I'd like to thank you and members of the Board of Directors, the Supervisory Committee, and other volunteers, as well as our management and staff of the credit union for their dedicated effort in making 2020 a successful year and 2021 starting off very well. As I look back to the pandemic in 2020, we're all very familiar with the things that happened. Many of you experienced your children attending school remotely and at home. We saw businesses closed. We saw lobbies of financial institutions closed and drive-ups open. And so it was a difficult time for all of us. So I'd like to take a few minutes and go over what I see are some of the things that we have done for our membership in 2020 and kind of vision what we're doing in 2021 and beyond. So some of the strategies we worked on last year, really with COVID and the impact of the pandemic, we actually had to move many of our employees who were in the admin building to work from home, and that had to be done very quickly. We allowed access to our members through the drive-through, as I mentioned earlier, through the call center. We also added video banking to help support our membership, so you can actually talk to an employee through your computer, through your phone, anywhere and anytime. a texting solution to provide greater convenience and access. We also implemented contactless cards, both on the debit and credit side, created ease of use, greater security, and greater convenience. And as I said earlier, we implemented an appointment software as we opened our branches for appointments only. Some of the programs that we currently had that we revisited were the interest relief programs. We had emergency personal loan programs. We also had SKIPA payments, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. Some of the newer programs we started was the Credit Rebuilder program to assist our members who have had credit problems, allows them to rebuild their credit and get better credit scores. We also found a need in that some of our members have had challenges with checking accounts in the past. So we created a Fresh Start spending account for those with challenges with their checking account. You know, as an organization, we look back and say, what are the success measures? What are the things that we can say were we successful or not? And so when I go back to 2020, some of the success measures that we see as a credit union, one is that we almost had approximately 10,000 SKIPA payments, which means because of financial challenges, our members needed to skip a loan payment for a period of time. We also did approximately 400 PPP loans, which were the government loans to our small businesses to make sure that they could keep their payroll and that they can keep going. And that amounted to a little over $21.5 million in loans. When I look at 2021, we continue to keep the credit union financially strong and healthy, and that's important to us, but also to make sure that your financial health is strong and important. We're going to continue to focus on people and to focus on remote access. We also have been working on a project we call journey mapping, but really what it is looking from a member perspective and asking or looking at the process and saying, is this easy for the member to do business with us, or is it difficult? And then how do we make changes to make it easier for the member to do business with us? We're going to continue to put in state-of-the-art technology to better serve our members, as well as to provide greater convenience and access. We're going to expand our services to include locations in the future. We also recognize the benefits of diversity, equity, and inclusion of our members, of our volunteers, and of our staff, and how it should mirror much of what the community is, the communities we serve, El Paso, Fort Bliss, and Las Cruces. We're more than just a financial institution. If you look back at what we've done so far this year, one of the programs we implemented is that we provide $1 to food banks for every loan that's funded or granted. And we expect that to provide over 1 million meals over the next 10 years. So you can see that we're not just a financial institution. We are committed to our community and the communities we serve and to our membership. In conclusion, I'd like to thank you for your contribution as members to FirstLight Federal Credit Union. We're a cooperative. We should have a mutual benefit between the members and the credit union. And I see a brighter future. I too think you can see a brighter future. Thanks again for all that you do for the credit union, and thank you for giving us the opportunity to help you improve your life and achieve your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy, for that inspirational State of the Credit Union address. As stated, the 2020 annual report contains the credit union's official reports, the chairman's report, the president's report, the supervisory committee report, and the financial statements. I will now entertain a motion to accept the reports and the financial statements as printed.
Mr. Chairman, a motion has been made by Anthony Walker and seconded by Diane Grant.
All in favor, enter aye, and those opposed, enter nay.
Remember, you have 30 seconds to vote. Voting has ended.
The motion is passed. The reports are accepted as presented. On behalf of Miguel Cheng Guajardo, Chair of the Nominating Committee, I will now announce the election results. There were 7 candidates nominated from the membership for the board: Enrique Bernal, Marcia Heller, Ruben Garcia, Rene Jimenez, Jaime Medina, Barbara Walker, and myself, Jaime Barceló. There was a total of 985 valid ballots received from the membership. The following are the results of the votes cast: Rene Jimenez, 569, Barbara Walker, 432, Jaime Barceló, 401, Marcia Heller, 327, Ruben Garcia, 323, Jaime Medina, 318, and Enrique Bernal, 313. There being 3 open positions for the board, please join me in congratulating new board members, Rene Jimenez and Barbara Walker. And I am pleased to accept another term on the board of directors. Thank you to all of those who submitted their names and nominations. And thank you for all of you who took the time to vote. Each year, we recognize staff for the outstanding service they provide members and fellow employees. The recipients of the Employee Year Awards go above and beyond in creating a positive member experience for those they serve. I would like to recognize our Member Service Employee of the Year from our Mortgage Services Department, who has gone above and beyond in his service to our members. Join me in congratulating Andrew Vallejo. Our Member Service Employee of the Year, who has provided outstanding service to his fellow staff members, is from the Information Technology Department. Join me in congratulating Luis Marquez. Job well done, gentlemen. Please review the annual report of the full stories of the exemplary services that these employees provide and their contributions to our organization. I would like to thank you for joining us today. This concludes the 2021 member meeting. Once again, the annual report can be found on the credit union website. If you have any comments or questions regarding this meeting, you're invited to send an email to amm@firstlightfcu.org. I will now entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting of the First Light Federal Credit Union.
A motion has been made by Tanya Johnson and seconded by Humberto Caudillo.
All in favor, enter aye. Those opposed, enter nay.
You have 30 seconds to vote. Voting has ended.
The 66th annual meeting of the First Light Federal Credit Union is now adjourned. Good evening, buenas noches. Thank you for attending and continue to be safe.